Some wounds don't heal with time. They just learn to stay quiet. But the truth is, no matter how far you run, some stories always find their way back to you. The years moved forward, and so did his life. Decisions were made. Responsibilities increased. And one day, he stood there. Not as a man in love, but as a king fulfilling his duty. A marriage, arranged. A life, decided. The world celebrated. But inside him, everything went silent. He did everything right. Smiled when needed. Spoke when required. Played his role perfectly. But love, that part of him, was gone. Because once you lose something real, everything else feels like a performance. Even happiness. One evening, a truth came to him. Unexpected, unplanned, undeniable. She had moved on, but not completely. There was a part of her life that still carried him. A child. His child. A truth hidden from the world. A truth that shook him, more than anything ever had. For the first time in years, the king broke. Not in public. Not in front of anyone. But alone, in the silence of his room. Because now, it wasn't just about love. It was about a life. A part of him, he never got to see. He had lost her, but now he realized. He had lost something even bigger. A chance to be a father. He had power. He could find them. He could change everything. But at what cost? A king's decision doesn't just affect him. It shakes worlds. And for the first time, he felt truly trapped. Because no matter what he chose, he would lose something. Again. He met her again. Not as lovers. Not as strangers. But as two people, connected by something deeper than love. She looked at him, not with anger, but with quiet understanding. You have a world to protect, she said softly. And I have a life to live. He made the hardest choice of his life. He stepped back. Again. He chose his crown. But this time, it didn't feel like strength. It felt like surrender. Now, he stands stronger than ever. More respected. More powerful. But completely empty. Because behind every strong king, there is a story no one will ever hear. A love he lost. A child he couldn't hold. A life he never lived. He had everything the world could offer, but lost everything that truly mattered. Some connections don't need names. Some bonds exist before truth. And sometimes, the person you're searching for your whole life is standing right in front of you, without even knowing who you are. Time didn't stop. Years passed, the king grew older. Wiser, stronger, but quieter. And somewhere far from the palace, a boy was growing up. With his mother. With questions. With a silence that no one could answer. The boy was different. Not because of what he had, but because of what he felt. He often asked, "Who is my father?" But every time, the answer was the same. A man who chose his world over us. And the boy learned to stop asking. One day, their paths crossed. Not planned. Not expected. The king was visiting a place far from his usual world. And there he was. A young boy, standing with the same eyes. The same silence. The same presence that felt familiar. They spoke. Just a simple conversation. But something felt different. The king felt a strange pull. And the boy felt a comfort. He couldn't explain. It wasn't logic. It wasn't coincidence. It was something deeper. Something real. The king looked at him closely. Too closely. As if trying to find something he had lost years ago. And for a moment, he almost said it. "Who are you?" But something stopped him. Because deep down, he already knew. Then, she appeared. After all these years, their eyes met again. No shock. No drama. Just silence, filled with everything. They never said. She looked at him, then at the boy. And in that moment, the truth became undeniable. The boy smiled, innocently. "Do you know him?" he asked his mother. She paused. Her eyes filled with emotion. And the king stood there. Powerful, respected, but completely helpless. Because for the first time, he didn't know what to do. He could say it. He could finally speak the truth. He could finally become what he never got to be. But would that fix everything or break even more? So he did the only thing he had done his whole life. He stayed silent. He stood in front of his own son, but remained a stranger. Because sometimes, the greatest power in the world still isn't enough to change the past.